What is the Mercenary tag? Mercenary is a new faction that represents the soldiers of fortune of the Star Wars universe. Unlike bounty hunters who are paid to bring in a specific target, mercenaries are paid to perform a job, usually one involving or likely involving combat. Things like being a bodyguard or attacking an installation on behalf of a third party, their employer. Why did we make a mercenary tag? There are a lot of characters in Star Wars who are guns for hire, and whose loyalty belongs more to credits than any given side in a conflict. This does not mean they are neutral characters, as almost every character in Star Wars has a pull towards light side or dark side in the grand scheme of things. Isn't a mercenary like a bounty hunter? A bounty hunter can be considered an extremely specialized mercenary, yes, but not all mercs are bounty hunters. For gameplay purposes, we're trying to keep bounty hunters and mercenaries separated as much as possible. You're one or the other, unless that version of the character is specifically seen doing both bounty hunting and broader mercenary work, like Chrysanthemum, for instance. Will there be any new characters coming to Swiggle with the mercenary tag? There are 3 new characters coming to Swiggle with the mercenary tag this year. Balin Scroll will be the leader, and Shin Hati and Marek will be mercenaries designed to work under him. Additionally, many, but not all, characters who have been defined as mercenaries in lore will receive the mercenary tag, making them synergize with other mercenaries, and especially Balin Skull. Balin Skull is the Sith guy from Ahsoka Tano show, right? I didn't know he was like a merc. I thought he was just some kind of weird Sith or whatever. Like, what I mean by weird Sith is I don't think he's a true Sith. But I thought he was something like Kylo. You know, Kylo's not a Sith either, but he's dark side, Force user, red lightsaber and all that. I thought that's what Balin Skull was. I know he's a merc. How do old and new mercenaries work together? Well, obviously this is just going to be like a dumb faction thing, so they'll work together just fine in their own goofy way, like Old Republic or whatever. Or, well, I guess that's a real faction, but you know what I mean? Like a weird sub-faction, like... I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but you know. Like being droid or something. No, that would work together too most times. I don't know. I'll just read this. Mercenaries are the only faction that can have the Soldier of Fortune effect. Every time I read that, I keep thinking that game that came out back in like Xbox regular days. I was going to say 1, but there is a system called Xbox One, and then that would still be confusing as to which one I'm referencing. This is a stacking blue status effect that does nothing on its own, but when paired with the new mercenaries, various effects will be added to the character in question based on the number of stacks of soft they have. Only a mercenary leader can have the ability to give stacks of soft to all/other mercenaries on their squad. Initially, this is only Balin Skull. Balin, Shin, and Marek will all have effects that they give to all mercenaries based on the number of soft stacks they have. Balin, Shin, and Marek also have ways to gain and lose stacks of Soldier of Fortune for themselves in their own kits. This allows Shin and Marek to synergize even without Balin in the squad. Older characters with the mercenary tag will be able to gain soft stacks from the method given by the mercenary leader, initially only Balin Skull. Older characters with the mercenary tag will benefit from the effects that Balin, Shin, Marek, and all future mercenaries bring to the table in regards to Soldier of Fortune stacks. Why have they been abbreviating it to soft all along, and then now all of a sudden they want to spell it out again? Example, a squad made up of Balin Skull, Shin Hati, Marek, Han Solo, and Dash Rendar will see Balin handing out soft stacks to everyone, including himself. Shin and Marek will also be adding stacks to themselves, and Han and Dash are reliant on gaining stacks from Balin Skull. Example, continued. Balin will give all mercenaries with Soldier of Fortune effects a stacking buff, will call buff 1. Shin will give them all a stacking buff, will call buff 2. Marek will give them all a stacking buff, will call buff 3. Because of this, all 5 members of the squad, including Han and Dash, will have buff 1, 2, and 3 in varying levels of efficacy, because the amount of Soldier of Fortune stacks they have will not be identical to one another, due to different ways each character can gain or lose them. Being able to put Soldier of Fortune stacks on older characters and having them reap benefits from those stacks via the new mercenary characters will make for an exciting time of squad building as players will experiment to find which of the older mercenaries can improve the squads the most. Yeah, it's like the Mandalorian squad, how, a couple of them bounty hunters also have the Mandalorian tag, and so you can add those to a, Maul-led team, or not, and kind of experiment with that. That's what this makes me think of, like, oh, which bounty hunters do I want to turn into mercs now? Will previously released characters get the mercenary tag? Well, looks like there's a whole bunch of them. You got Balin Skull, Boba Fett, Cad Bane, Candace Ordo, Cara Dune. Cara Dune? That's funny. She's not even a bounty hunter. So it's not only bounty hunter characters getting this? Oh yeah, because he said Han Solo. I didn't even think of that. Anyways, Dash Runner, Dangar, Doc Afra, Embo, Fennec Shan, Han Solo, Hondo, Jango Fett, Jedi Knight, Cal Kestis, Chrysanthemum, Kaliktan, Leet, Merrick, Mission Val, Kira, Sarastanos, Shinhati, the Mandalorian, Beskar Armor. Jeez, he's gonna have like 9,000 tags. He has Mandalorian, Bounty Hunter. No, he doesn't have Bounty Hunter, does he? No, but he has Mandalorian. He has like Leader, Light Side, something else, I think. Now he's gonna have Mercenary. Vander Chewie, Vet Han, Young Lando, Zalbar, and Zam.